Akan and Bush blacks. Among the Bush blacks, as in Africa, the spider stories relate to Anansi. We find, in a sense, that it's very interesting that these Akan or Yarura people probably founded the earliest civilizations along the Orinoco River. The Yarura may have established the Valencoid and Araquanid culture series around 1150 to 1500 BC. These sites are situated along the middle and lower Orinoco River. We find, in a sense, that many of their art relates back to artifacts that are found in Africa. According to Alfred Kidder, the mounds of Venezuela are situated along local rivers. Practically all the ancient figurines from Venezuela are Africans. African males are commonly represented on many ancient American sites. The art from Venezuela, on the other hand, indicate that many of the African settlers were females. This probably relates to the fact that among the Yarura, as most Akan people, the female or fertility was an important part of their art and culture. Here we see some artifacts from the Valencia Style, and we can clearly see the female figure. We find in these figures that the head of the female is very large, and if you remember those artifacts that we've seen earlier relating to Akan art today, we find that the female usually has a large head, but the body is somewhat smaller. Here we see this same style in the Valencia Style. The Valencoid style comprises pottery from the mound sites of the Valencia Basin. Here the dead were buried in urns identical to those used in West Africa. The Valencoid pottery is usually red and white, while some were tricolored pottery, red, black, and white, as in the El Topo style. The Valencoid people also made collars decorated with human faces. The artifacts from Valencia correspond to artifacts discovered by the French scholar Desplanges when he excavated mounds along the Niger River at the turn of the 20th century. In the funeral chambers of these mounds, he found numerous pots with a red slip and copper instruments. The Niger being painted ware is of the white on dark red-brown variety. It corresponds to the white on red painted pottery from El Mayo style of Venezuela. What we find, in a sense, is that this is a unique culture. We find, in a sense, that the Ashanti people, somewhere back in ancient times, somewhere before, in a sense, the 10th century, made their way to ancient America. Along the Orinoco River, they built a fantastic, a beautiful, and wonderful culture. A culture that we are happy to know today. And from this culture, we know that in addition to the Olmecs, other African people made their way to ancient America.